Hi, Dan here. Hope you're doing really well. I'm going to go a little bit further into ghost notes in this lesson. I've done a lesson before on articulations, and the ghost note is notated with this little X here, and it's just this dead sound. It's used a lot in funk, but it by no means has to be used in that genre. And one of the main things really to watch out for when you play a ghost is to avoid harmonics or any sort of extraneous noises. What you want is a really dull, dead sound. So let's have a look at doing that. Get your hand, put your fingers quite sort of straight like this, and just lay it over the strings without pressing down into the note to get a fret. If you use just one finger, say let's say the little finger, and you're somewhere over the 5th fret, pretty much between the 4th and the 5th fret, if you just use one finger, you're probably going to get a harmonic. Even 2 fingers is better because you're really deadening more of the string and you're just going to get that percussive thud, which is what you want from a ghost note. So when I was improvising the line for the intro, all I was doing was I was just using a G minor pentatonic. Was I doing anything else? No, I was just doing that. So we've got that shape there. Frets 3 to 6 on the E string and then 3 to 5 on the remaining strings. Let's start off really simple. Let's go to the 5th fret of the D string. I'm playing that note, the G, with my little finger. You can use your 3rd if you want, but I'm using little finger. So I'm fretting that. And notice that the other fingers are already laying across the strings. Now, all I have to do if I want to play a ghost note is just release pressure off my little finger. Not completely off the string, but just still touching the string, but release pressure off the note. And these other fingers are helping out, that's why it's completely dead. So that's what I would do just to start. I'm just alternating my fingers. You can play any random note of that G minor pentatonic scale followed by a ghost note. Avoid any of that. You just want a complete dead noise. And you'll have to get used to the timing. The timing and the touch. Because you don't want to come completely off, but you do want to release pressure off that note. So you're getting used to timing and touch there. There I'm just doubling the speed, doing 16th notes. Notice how a lot of the rhythm comes from the fretting hand here. There I'm just using the 5th fret, the G, going to the F, 3rd fret of the D string. You can use just one finger. I'm using the 3rd finger and the 1st finger. But there's that slight harmonic again, which is why I use more than one finger. Sort of like holding the strings to get that dead note. You can use some articulations to bring things to life. So I'm going C to D, 3rd fret, 5th fret of the A string, hammer on. Immediately followed by a ghost note. This is what I mean with timing and touch. Because as soon as your finger has hammered down onto the 5th fret of the A string, it then needs to come up immediately off the note to deaden that string. So again, as you would do any new technique, anything that you want to get that seems a bit difficult at first, you slow it right down. Sometimes I forget to mention that in a video where I'm trying to get through things and keep the video short. But honestly, this is how you should be going that slow if that's what you need to do. After the ghost note, press back in to get the same note. Or go to another note. At the beginning I did something fancy, I won't remember it, but it was something like... There, I was just playing the B flat 3rd fret, the G string. And just deadened the whole strings, flat fingers, and just raking. Just dragging your finger. Da-ba-da-bum, and I want to hit the G, 3rd fret. But see how ghost notes, they add percussion into your playing. Jacko used them a lot, as did Rocco Prestia. Really, really great funk players. Bootsy Collins. Anyone you happen to mention that's funk uses these or used these. You can also use them in slap. So we use the same notes. So I'm going 3rd fret G, which is the 3rd fret of the E string, 5th fret of the D string, that's octaves. Exactly the same technique. I'm just using the flat fingers just to touch all the strings, and you get a good slap technique to get used to is this sort of idea of patting your hand, in this case my left hand, the fretting hand, to get a ghost note. I don't want to get a note. You can, but in this case I don't. I want a ghost note. That's probably a best way to describe it, actually. Let's go to the E string. You get a ghost note, you get this completely clean dead noise. And from there on, you're really just drumming using both hands. So that's another way to get a ghost note, is just to sort of pat, and it's used a lot in the slapping technique. In terms of practicing ghost notes, I would do what I showed you earlier. Get a scale, in this case G minor pentatonic, could be any scale by the way. G Dorian is quite cool. I'll show you that. So I've got the 3rd fret of the G of the E string, which is G. The minor 7th, 3rd fret of the D string. E right next to it on the 2nd fret. Just those 3 notes sound really great. Let's add that as well in. The B flat, 1st fret of the A string. These are intervals, you should know those as well. Minor 3rd. So just those notes on their own. You can use those to construct bass lines. I'm thinking 16th notes. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 16th notes. So my fingers go. I don't want to hit every single note. There I rushed a bit. I'm just going E to F. So I'm fretting the E, then doing 2 ghost notes, and then fretting the F. Exactly the same thing between B flat and C now, 1st fret, 3rd fret, A string. I'm going to leave you with this riff here, or little lick here. So I'm going hammer on from 3 to 5, F to G on the D string, and followed immediately by a ghost note. There's that timing again. Always got a finger onto the next note, which is the 3rd fret of the G string, the B flat. I'm doing exactly the same thing now, just dropping down to the A and D strings, and then drop down to the E and the F on frets 1, 3. Just using these notes, really, really simple, and just, I think that's a really good way to practice, is to incorporate a technique that's new and put it into some notes, make up a bass line immediately, and then you'll hear this in bass lines, and you can use this. As ever, don't overdo it. I've overdone it in this lesson just to illustrate a point. I hope you got something from that video, and if you did, please like it, subscribe to the channel. If you do have any questions, leave them below and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, have a really great day. I'll see you next time.